What is up, New Beginnings Church? Happy Wednesday morning to you and welcome to this devotion series. We're in Mark chapter 7. Really cool little unique story here found in verse number 24. It says that Jesus left that place and went to the vicinity of Tyre. He entered a house and did not want anyone to know it, yet he could not keep his presence a secret. In fact, as soon as she heard about him, a woman whose little daughter was possessed by an impure spirit came and fell at his feet. This woman was a Greek, born in Cyrene, Phoenicia. She begged Jesus to drive the demon out of her. "First, let the children eat all they want," he told her, "for it is not right to take the children's bread and to toss it to the dogs." "Lord," she replied, "even the dogs under the table eat the children's crumbs." Then he told her, "For such a reply, you may go." I underline that word right there, or that phrase. For such a reply, you may go. The demon has left your daughter. She went home and found her child lying on the bed and the demon gone. Oh, what a cool story. There's a lot of things going on here where you can see, I think we talked about this on Monday maybe, that Jesus was pushing back against the religious nature of the Pharisees. One of the other things that you see him pushing back against is he's introducing these little moments where he knows he's about to blow the whole thing wide open. For example, I think it was just yesterday he was talking about what enters our body does not defile us. And it said by saying this, Jesus declared all foods clean. Well, you got to remember the Jews had a very strict dietary code. So Jesus is already messing with their theology, getting rid of the tradition of the elders. He's messing with some of their religious ideas of God. He's messing with even their... And now this Greek woman shows up. She's not a Jew. She doesn't have a covenant with God. She's the wrong gender. She's a woman in a male-dominated society. She's a Greek and not a Jew, so she's the wrong race or ethnicity. And it's just bad timing because Jesus had not yet fully blown this whole thing open for the whole world. And so she's the wrong gender, the wrong ethnicity at the wrong time, and everything is working against her. And Jesus does this when he says, "First let the children eat all they want." He's referring to Jews. He's the Jewish Messiah. He's come, right, as the Jewish Messiah. And he hasn't blown this whole thing open yet. He's about to. So the bad timing is here. He goes, "For it's not right to take to the children's bread and toss it to the dogs." And so this is very tongue-in-cheek. Jesus would have been playing into cultural language here. That's just how they would have spoken. It wasn't necessarily that insulting. It would have been common because she doesn't say, "How dare you?" She goes, "Actually, and let me play into your little metaphor. God, or Jesus, even the dogs under the table eat the children's crumbs." And he's like, pump the brakes. This woman has some chutzpah, right? She's got some tenacity. She's got some audacity to her. She's got something that says, "Hey, I've got an edge to me, and this thing is so important." You got to remember, her daughter was probably the most important thing to her in her whole world. And she goes, "Man, I'm going to be relentless. I'm going to be persistent. I'm going to keep asking." And I want you to know that this is a quality that is actually celebrated in the scriptures. As a matter of fact, Jesus tells a parable about a woman who's praying to or talking to an unjust judge, but just because her constant persistence, she finally gets this bad judge to rule in her favor. And he ends up commending her, saying, "Stay persistent, keep fighting." As a matter of fact, in the Old Testament even, there's two major figures of the Old Testament, Abraham and Moses. Both of them argue with God. Abraham has a whole dialogue back and forth where he's arguing with God about saving the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah. And that's part of what makes these stories with Moses, and Moses was doing the same thing. He was fighting and arguing with God on behalf of the nation of Israel, and God welcomed it. That's the takeaway from these two stories in the Old Testament, is that God was welcoming. No, be persistent. Ask for what you want. Later, James actually says, "You have not because you ask not." And so this woman, even though she was the wrong gender, the wrong ethnicity at the wrong time, she was persistent. And so I just want to encourage you, no matter what it is that's in your life, if you feel like, "Hey, this is important. This is my family. This is my child. This is my spouse. This is my calling," whatever it is, I want you to know that God is inviting you to stay persistent, to keep in the fight, to keep pursuing, to keep that tenacity, to have a little bit of a chutzpah. All right, church, so in light of that, what are you praying for? And what are you believing for? Is there a prayer or a desire or passion that you quit on and given up? And I want you to get back in the fight and keep persisting and keep pursuing. Can I get an amen to that? Church, I love you guys so much. God bless you. I'll see you tomorrow.